Hi, Al Turry here with you again. What we're going to do now is many of you are wondering, how does this play out or connect in an audiology practice or any medical practice for that matter? As I shared with you already, in addition to audiologists, we have physical therapists, chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncturists, even medical doctors that are using Beamer in their medical practice. So what we're going to do now is a couple of things. First, I want to introduce you to Russ. Russ is a patient on the Beamer for about 8 weeks, give or take a couple of days. I'm not going to tell you his story. I'm going to let you hear it directly from him. But he's a classic example of somebody that was introduced for non-audiology type concerns, started using the Beamer. He's scheduled for a hearing test in the near future. So it's a great example of how, from start to finish, embedding Beamer into your practice introduces non-hearing aid patients to your practice from a non-audiology type referral source, a little PSA in the newspaper, right? Talking about other things. They wind up in front of you, you get them on the device, they start feeling better for other things, and next thing you know, they're scheduled for a hearing test. And 4 of these patients a month on average, since we've been doing this for almost 2 years, have become hearing aid patients, which is just amazing for the practice. So let's have you meet Russ and listen to his story. Hi Russ, thanks for being here today, and really thank you for sharing your story. I know nobody necessarily looks forward to being on camera and being asked questions, but I really appreciate your time today. I know your story and I know your outcomes, but I'd really like you to share with our audience today what attracted you to Beamer, why did you ask to use it, and what have your results been? Do you mind sharing that with us today?
Okay, I was introduced to Beamer through my cousin in Los Angeles, California, and she's a family member, obviously being my cousin, but she's aware of my conditions and the situations and problems that I have in my life. And I'll take this time now to share with you some of those problems that I've been having in my life. Number one, I'm very severely depressed and bipolar, and it has seemed to actually help with the bipolar and the depression and the anxiety. I also have panic disorder, and it seemed to help with that, being in large crowds and that kind of stuff. The other thing I have is Parkinson's disease, which has really had a lot of tremors in it and causes me to lose my balance on my right side. And since I've been using the Beamer, I'm a lot more sturdy. I don't have nearly as many tremors, and I find that it has really worked well for my disease in helping to not cure it, but reduce the amount of tremors and the things that I've been feeling through it. I've also noticed that with constipation, it's been helping things flow a lot easier and become regular on it. The other things I've noticed also is ED. I've had some problems with that, but now as I wake up in the mornings, I'm realizing that it's really helping. So that's another one of the situations that it helps at.
Russ, that's great. I knew about your Parkinson's, and for me, I thought the primary goal was to see what it would do with your symptoms of your Parkinson's, but I didn't know about some of those other things. So I'm so happy that after 8 weeks or so, that you're seeing not only reduction in those symptoms of your Parkinson's, but these other issues that I'm just hearing about. That's awesome. I'd like to tell you, and the people that are listening, that I'm shocked and surprised. But the truth is, after using Beamer myself, my family members, and the hundreds of patients that we've helped with Beamer in the last couple of years, I hear all these stories frequently. Everybody's different, everybody's unique, But the constipation story you shared with us, that's a real common one. The ED, I work with a lot of patients that are much older than you, right? So we've got 70, 80, 90-year-olds telling us that they're not taking little blue pills anymore, which is awesome, because quality of life is so huge for many different areas, right? So that being said, remind everybody, because I think it's been about 8 weeks, but share the length of time, and if you could kind of detail the progression, right? You've been using it for X number of weeks, the first thing you noticed, and then a couple weeks in. I'm just curious the sequence of improved quality of life. So would you mind sharing that timeline with us a little bit?
Okay, the Beamer I've been using about 8 weeks now, and kind of like the order in which I have felt progression and everything through using the system is, first I noticed that I had a lot more blood circulation around my body and had more energy and could just feel things a lot better in my body as far as with the Parkinson's and everything. That I started to notice probably after the second week of using the machine. The ED took a little while longer, obviously I guess for other circumstances, but the other thing I forgot to mention was I use it a lot for my back because of having back problems. It's real easy to just use that belt, and first you place it in front of you, and then after you do your 8 minutes you can turn the belt around and put it on your back and use the benefit from it there. You can put it around your head, around your legs, whatever issue you seem to have.
That's great, Russ. Thanks for sharing that. You mentioned using it in different body parts, 8 minutes here, 8 minutes there, and that's awesome. I've got plenty of people that devote a lot of time to this, right, for the obvious benefits. But I want to reiterate to you and other people that are watching, most of our patients use this twice a day for 8 minutes, right? That's how I use it. I don't use it any more than that unless I've run a lot lately, so my knees will bother me sometimes. So I might use it another 8 minutes on my knees. But all you have to do for general well-being, improved energy, less aches and pains, is simply that twice a day for 8 minutes. But obviously, you saw the benefits quickly. You added it to different areas, and you invested the time. And the people that do report good things. So to revisit the ease of use, could you share with people, and we're going to show some video as well with you on the chair that we filmed already. Just, you know, that belt over your belly, you're sitting on a mat. Do you use it in your bed? Do you use a recliner? How do you implement it into your life easily? And is it a problem to use, or is it simple?
Now, I've used it in the chair and have felt how that works and everything, which is amazing. The other thing I do is I store it under my mattress cover pad. That way I can just hop in bed at night or when I wake up in the morning, and it's just so easy to use. That's the first thing I do for the 8 minutes that I wake up and the last 8 minutes of my day. With the belt, I go ahead and I put it on very easily. It just has these two straps that you connect together, and then for me, I twist it around so that it's back in front, and I lay my hands on it, how you see in the demonstration, and that really seems to work out well for me.
Well, Russ, thanks for sharing your story. I know it's personal stuff, and not everybody's comfortable doing that, so I really appreciate you sharing. What we're finding with Beamer, right, not just in our audiology clinic, but around the region where I work with people with this, is Beamer's not sold, right? People, it sells itself, I guess is a better way of saying it. You get people on it, we put patients on it. When I do these talks, right, that we market in that a small public service announcement, people come in for an hour talk. Basically, I'm in front of a room, I'm going through some of the stuff we've already shown you. We offer them 2 free sessions, just like we did with Russ, right? They try 2 free sessions, and then they go from there, and it's amazing. The stories that come out and how they tell their friends. We have patients frequently that come in for our daily program in the clinic that they came alone the first time or the second time, but before you know it, they've got different people with them over their month-long sessions. So these people that learned about an audiology practice through a non-audiology related marketing endeavor, now they know about us. They brought friends because they're so fascinated with this machine. And all these folks are getting touched by us. They're meeting our front office staff. They're working with our team on the beamer. And before you know it, the word is spreading about it. So, Russ, seriously, thank you again. I really appreciate your time. And I'll see you soon.